going on? Ah. Forgot to turn that down. Alright. Well, welcome back to Reichenator Plays Angels with Scaly Wings. Feel like we're getting a little bit closer to finding out the murderer. Or not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, yeah, it's nice doing the things with the dean and all that, but it's just, we're not focusing enough on the murders. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a twist where it's not actually, why am I drawing a blank on, the name? It's going to pop up in it. I'm going to hate myself. Anyways, March 13th. Alright, back at it. Looks like I have some free time today. Okay, so I've already met with the dean. We had our little date. Who do I meet with now? I'm gonna go with, I've met with Remy, but I haven't met with Lauren, but I also want to know what's going on with Remy. There's a lot there. But I haven't spent any time with Lauren. Yeah, let's find out Remy's story. Let's go hang out with him. Thank you again for helping me the other day. Without you, I would have been trapped sorting books for a few more hours. Inviting you over for dinner is the least I can do. Yeah, no problem, really. It's no problem, really. Besides, I'm also here to learn more about your kind. Spending some time in the library is only appropriate. Well, my gratitude is yours regardless. Anyways, is there anything in particular you would like to eat? I wonder what that implies. How about steak? I like steak. Oh, you're in luck. I do have a few steaks we could dine upon. This might take a while, so make yourself at home. With those words, Remy walked into the partially walled-off kitchen. There was no door, so I saw him open the fridge and take out 2 steaks before he set them on the counter. Soon after, he was already preparing the various ingredients with his somewhat clumsy paws. He was silent for a moment, then lifted his snout and looked at me from over the partition. What is it? I was just thinking about something. I can help cook if you like. Don't worry about it. Alright. I looked around the apartment as Remy cooked and couldn't help but notice the almost mesmerizing tidiness that permeated the place. Shelves were filled with books, scrolls, magazines, and other various trinkets. Suddenly, the repetitious noise of vegetables being cut ceased as Remy returned from the adjourning room. I'll be back in a minute. Just a minute. He went down the hall and vanished through the bathroom door. What should I do? Search his bedroom. That's a good idea. Escape while I still can. Okay. Let's look at the pictures. I picked up one of the framed photos to examine it more closely. It was a red dragon. I guessed that it was a female of young adult or college age, though I wasn't sure, as it was still hard to tell without looking at the obvious signs. What are the obvious signs? Her crimson-scaled head was adorned with frills that ran down the back of her neck. She wasn't familiar to me. Alright, look at the pictures. Go into the bathroom. He just went to the bathroom. I ain't doing that. I moved over to the shelves and idly looked through the books and scrolls. Nothing particularly interesting caught my eye. Hey, Kenny. From the titles alone, It seemed all genres were more or less represented, fiction and non-fiction alike. The scrolls were neatly sorted in holders, though I couldn't make out the logical consistency between their arrangements. Anatomy, huh? Let's check that out. Lovely. I'm not quite sure what I expected. Not that. Search is... Is there another picture I can look at? The second picture showed Remy in his typical attire, tie, glasses, and all. The bathroom door opened and revealed the white dragon. As he approached, I felt my stomach grumble quietly. I barely heard the muffled sound, but when I saw Remy's ears perk, I realized he had more sensitive ears than I expected. Hungry already, I take it? I'll starve if you keep standing. Jeez. Lift your... What? Why? Am I gonna flirt with Remy? Although your stomach already has already answered that question for you. After entering the kitchen once more, I saw the dragon looked over the kitchen partition again. His mouth opened a little, as though he were going to speak, but his brow scrunched with hesitation. Before I could say anything, he shook his head and continued to cook. Soon, I heard the sizzling of frying meat as the delicious smell of steak. I can never say that word. Wafted? Wafted? I hate that word. Into the room. That word. Fueled by its fragrant odor, I slowly lost myself to daydreams as I closed my eyes. Is something wrong? You're salivating. It's nothing. I was just thinking about something. Well, the food is ready. Enjoy. I looked down and saw that a plate was already in front of me, piled with steak and vegetables. Remy was already eating, so I took the knife he had provided and cut off a small corner of my steak. Then I pierced it with the fork. Do I have to describe eating? I think we all know what it's like to eat food. Slowly raising my mouth and my tongue glided over... Yeah, we're just gonna talk about food here. I like butter. A good steak will do that. It was almost perfect. Ooh. Almost. So, what were you thinking about? Huh? Remy's words snapped me back to reality. You said you were thinking about something. Why did you use a stove to cook? Am I assuming that they can breathe fire now? Can I talk about the pictures? That's on your scrolls. Which ones? The ones on anatomy. Well, I do have a variety of books and scrolls covering all kinds of different subjects. Why is he blushing? I saw as much. You may have heard that I have a degree in biology. I don't. But whatever. Which is one of the reasons I was given the honor of coming here in the first place. As such, your anatomy is of high interest to me, and one of the things I'm supposed to study. Okay, getting a little weird. I was talking about your kind in general, not you in particular. Oh, in that case, I might be able to find you something more comprehensive than a handful of scrolls. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. I do. Honestly, you are the first person to visit in a while. Okay, I didn't miss it. Accidentally double-clicked. Spoke softly and his gaze wandered. Oh, I see. Thank you again for inviting me. Yeah, let's talk about the murders. Oh, what a terrible thing. People can be so cruel sometimes. They can be. Where I come from, incidences like this are unfortunately fairly common. Truly. Here, it is almost unheard of. Oh, don't wake up now, bud. You could nap for a little longer. I'll get you in a sec. One just needs... Okay, yeah, hang on. Baby's awake, gotta go. What am I getting stuck on? Alright, baby's awake. I'll be right back. Get you all set up. Hands. There you go. I'm here, bud. I'm here. All right. Want some banana? Banana. There you go, bud. Let's cut you up a few more pieces. You not hungry? You gotta be. It's lunchtime. That's what I thought. All right. Got you all set up with some food. All right. Where was I? All right. Here is almost unheard of. One just needs to take a look at the statistics. I struggle with that word too. To realize that this is very unusual, or just an exceptionally bad week. I would say it's a pretty bad week. Why did you use a stove to cook? Why did you use a stove to cook? I mean, can't you just use your fire? Am I pulling a racism? Well, for one, not all of us have that ability. Yep, I pulled a racism. Besides, we still appreciate the convenience that comes with appliances, like this one. And not everyone wants to eat food cooked with someone else's breath. Yeah, that's a fair point. Breathing fire indoors is also a little unsafe. Man, I feel like an idiot. I see, that makes a lot of sense. Well, no, Sherlock. Anyways, how do you like your food? It is adequate. I would marry this steak if I could. Well, it is delicious. Thank you. I suppose you learn to cook well when you live on your own long enough. Yeah. By the way, I noticed you went to see Anna the other day. What was that all about? How do you know about that? I saw you two together a little before you left the building. That's kind of a long story. What was that? Why were you at the facility in the first place? She said I could come by. Apparently, she wants to run some tests on... Well, she's kind of dead now. Oh, that is so typical of her. Let me tell you something. That woman is trouble. Big trouble. Are we not going to mention the fact that she's dead? A few years ago, she was discovered performing unapproved and therefore illegal experiments. She had been running them for a while under the assumption that she would be allowed to, but in the end, our council's ethics committee made the decision against her. Anna's defense was that she did it for the greater good. Oh, that's always good. Do it for the greater good. I think I know a few stories where that included, nuking populations, innocent civilians, stuff like that. and that she was confident that her experiments would be approved eventually. She lambasted us for not allowing her research, and said our decision was short-sighted and stifling innovation. In the end, no proof of any actual wrongdoing could be found, so she basically got off scot-free. What? Okay, yeah, there are rumors going around. Well, it kind of doesn't matter anymore. She's dead. I mean, that's right. She died. That was. I'm pretty positive that was her. That was, if I'm remembering correctly, from last week. More banana. I think the word you're looking for is thank you. We'll get there. We'll get there, bud. Surprise, surprise, her latest application involves human DNA. Her casual disregard for rules of any kind should tell you what kind of person she is. She did have a brilliant mind, you know, but the way she used it, she was manipulative, arrogant, abusive. I don't think you should I can't trust her anymore. She's dead. Maybe she wasn't as bad as you say. You don't know her, nor should you bother getting to know her. How much do you really know about Anna? Did you know? Seriously, this is just a... Doesn't matter if she's alive or dead. This is just how the conversation goes, really? I was just trying to help. Really? Sounds like all you did was harass her without proof of any actual wrongdoing. That's not a particularly good idea. Well, if that's what you think, then I just hope you'll at least be careful around... Can't be careful around here! Ay. Soon both of our plates were picked clean. I guess I judged your portion correctly, unless you want more. I'm good, thanks. That was an interesting steak. What kind of meat was that? Oh boy, what is it? Those were... our aurochs steak. I may have heard of aurochsen before. They are rather large, bovine mammals characterized by their horns and body shape. We get a range of products from them, from meat and milk, so basically cows. Yeah, they're just cows. Speaking of unfamiliar creatures, why don't you tell me more about your species? Are you referring to me or all of us? Our society is comprised of a number of different species, which you have probably noticed by now. I guess all of you. Let's start with the basics. I'm sure you're aware, but unlike the mammalian aurochs, we are reptiles. No. Though this makes me wonder about you. Based on your fur, I guess that you are a mammal, but you are very different from other mammals we know. In the same vein, you don't share many characteristics with our reptiles back home. I can't read today. And by the way, we don't have fur, but hair. Hi, bud. What's the difference? Oh, not much of a difference. More food. Got some crackers. Yeah. Here you go. Oh, you're too freaking cute, dude. Fur has a set length, whereas hair will keep growing. Yeah, well. Whereas hair will keep growing, so we regularly cut it. So that's so interesting. I was wondering something. Are you wearing all those coverings to make up for a lack of... I suppose that's one reason why humans wear clothes, yeah. They also provide warmth and protection, and are used to differentiate us from one another. Sometimes uniforms are used as identification. Other times clothes are just ornamental. What a person wears can tell us something about the person itself. That sounds complicated. We also have uniforms and wear some things for ornamental reasons. You're wearing a tie, dude. Though our uses aren't quite as extensive. That brings up an interesting question. Are you endo or exothermic? It's getting a little too sciencey. We produce our own body heat. That is unusual. Where I come from, all reptiles are exothermic. Unless you count birds as reptiles, I guess. I mean, the chicken is a descendant of the T-Rex, so... But none of your reptiles are sentients, correct? Maybe it has something to do with our different brain structures. Maybe. Now that you've been in our world for a while, how do you like it here? I like the people. It's good to hear. Cultural differences can make things very difficult sometimes, even within the same species. I'm glad things are working out for you so far. Oh, I just remembered. I was able to save my game after all. Your interference was only a minor setback. Good job, man. You're awesome. Turned out it wasn't a big deal after all. You know, if that hadn't worked out so well, I would have had to consider making you play up to that point again for me. Ain't nobody got time for that. Wouldn't mind playing some of your video games, sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Is that so? Yeah, they're fun. I'd like to see what kind of games you have here. I'll keep that in mind. Perhaps I can show you sometime. You know, I'm glad you're here. Since you arrived in our world, we haven't really had the chance to just sit down and talk. Yeah, you know, there's this kind of problem of people getting murdered. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's been a busy time for me, as you can imagine, dealing with these murders. Reza, that's his name. Oh, of course. Thanks for taking the time to pay me a visit. I always have so many things to take care of that it's hard for me to find time to do something simple like this. At least it worked out this time. You do have a point, though. I don't really know that much about you. I know where you work, but most of our conversations so far have revolved around things other than you and me. Why don't you tell me more about yourself? I don't really like talking about myself. Why not? Guess I wouldn't know what to say. I'm not really that interesting. I don't believe you. There's also the uncertainty of not knowing how another person will react to something I say. I don't want to embarrass myself. Hey, at least you told me that. That's something. I suppose. Anyway, now that you've seen my apartment, I'm wondering what your home on the other side of the portal looks like. It's nothing special. Yours is prettier. Actually, everything here looks nice in comparison to back home. Is that so? In some ways, I'm not really looking forward to returning, but it's not like I have a choice in the matter. I suppose you can always visit if you would like. Stop dropping food, dude. Winchester. It wouldn't be that easy, I'm afraid. There was an extensive process involved for selecting who would go through the portal, and I was only one of many applicants. I'm still surprised I ended up being chosen. At least you're here now. Indeed. So, what have you been up to since the last time I saw you? You mean since I went into the kitchen to cook the steaks? Very funny. I'm just messing with you, Reich. With all the talking, I totally forgot about dessert. Well, yes, I am on a diet right now, but my character can eat whatever he wants. I'm up for some dessert. I have the right thing for you. I'll be just a minute. He neatly stacked our dishes before he took them into one of his tucked them into one of his... No, he took... Hi, bud. Into the kitchen using his other 3 limbs. I couldn't help but think that it looked pretty awkward. Yeah, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. When he returned balancing a plate with a rather attractive cake slice in a similar manner, I realized he would have to make multiple trips to carry everything to the table. Help him. Okay, why is this acting like I'm saying that? No. Sit down, please. I can handle it. You're my guest, after all. Not wanting to upset him, I sat down again and waited. No, I need to insist on helping him. No, not really. Just little thing with Remy here. When he approached the table a second time, though, one of the tiny dessert forks started to slip off the plate. Remy reached with his free forepaw in his attempt to save it, but lost balance without its support and fell over. In an instant, the plate, fork, and cake slice flew through the air. The dish and the silverware clattered as the pristine cake crumbled into a sad heap on the floor. That sucks. Oh, poor thing. For a few moments, there was silence as Remy and I looked at the result of his blunder. I'm sorry, Reg. That's jerk. I'd be a jerk. You don't need to apologize. This isn't just about you and your cake. This always happens to me, no matter how hard I try. You have proper hands. So do some of the other species. How can someone like me even be a librarian? Not a day goes by without me dropping a scroll and unfurling it across the room. But the customers don't care or pity me too much to say anything. It's a common sight for them, after all. This is about Amira, isn't it? I guess it is. I just don't see why someone like me got to be a librarian when there were others more qualified for the position, or who were at least capable of not dropping the inventory on a daily basis. Some more banana. Well, you still have your crackers, dude. She makes fun of you for it. I knew it. I mean, why else would she have me do these tasks all the time? Sorting books, carrying things from one place to another. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't work somewhere where my worth is only in the entertainment I provide. Why don't you look for a new job? These positions have terms similar to those of ministers. If I ended my employment prematurely, it wouldn't look great. Really? You can't let it eat away at you? Ay. How long do you have left? A while. That's very specific, thank you. I don't want to make him quit. Not really, it's not like I could prove anything. Her public and her private demeanor are two very different things, and it would be my word against hers. I just wanted to have a nice evening with you, and now it ended up like this. I shouldn't have brought that up. Don't worry about it. I still think it was a nice evening. Maybe I should stop being such a sourpuss. I can help you clean up. Thank you, Reich. Cleaned up together, and by the end, he seemed to be in higher spirits. Afterwards, we said our goodbyes and I left, not sure what to think. This is a nice dinner. Got to hang out with Remy. Oh, okay. Next chapter. What? No, but what? What? Hang on, were you just gonna skip over those cards? Okay, no, we're just moving on. That was... First off, that second one was Anna, and she is still dead. Unless I missed something. I woke with my eyes, yeah, that's definitely how you do it, fixed on the ceiling wallpaper. A sense of dread lingered from a nightmare I no longer remembered. How many more times would I see this apartment before I returned to my own world? Or before something happened to me? I got ready for the day, and tried to shake off those thoughts. Alright, well, who's dead now? Oh god, who's dead now? Better not be Bryce. Or Adine. I swear, if Adine dies, if I somehow get Adine killed in this timeline, I'm quitting. I'm done. I can't have her die. And right on the minute, You show up at this time every day, like clockwork. Clocks are reliable, and reliable is good in this line of work. I've got something for you. An envelope from the facility. Oh, these are the results from the tests Anna ran on my blood, who is still dead. Okay, now we're acknowledging it. She must have sent this before she was... No, it's no use thinking about that now. Maybe the test results will be able to help us. Let's see. Remarkable similarities in genetic makeup, particularly the brain structure. Oh, I suppose this isn't the only reason you're here. The chief will explain everything once we get there. Let's not keep him waiting, shall we? It's a nice little house. We arrived at a place that would look like an ordinary house had it not been for its extraordinary size. It's not extraordinary. You're reminding me more of a hostel than a family home. Chief. There you are. Wait, weren't you supposed to be with Amira? Luckily, she doesn't work every day of the week. I see. Seems like you do. Anyway, we're nearly done here, so I'll keep it short. Reza broke into the hatchery. Oh, no. There was another Okay, another murder. An employee of the hatchery who was on night duty. Her body was found quite away from here. There's evidence of a struggle, but she covered a lot of distance before it was ultimately over. Loud bangs were heard from the area her body was found, and she has numerous wounds consistent with both the wounds of the previous victims and that other weapon he has. By this point, news of another corpse didn't have the same impact anymore. She was just another one of Reza's faceless victims. A hatchery? Is that what this building is? Well, not only. It's a council-owned building, and they like keeping everything related to their sector under the same roof. So besides the hatchery, there's also an orphanage. Oh, no. And a family clinic inside. There are also offices related to the administration of those services. That reminds me of the production facility. It should. They have a similar management structure. Can we get back to the case? Sorry for the interruption, Chief. Wait a minute. If an orphanage is in there too... Oh, no. There are no other casualties, but Reza got something else when he broke in. A generator, as well as a few egg... Oh, okay. He's an egg thief now. Luckily, the power was restored before anything happened to all the other eggs left inside. But needless to say, the parents of the stolen eggs are not going to be happy. Whoa! Really? Really? You think they're not going to be happy? Why would he steal eggs in the first place? Maybe you can tell us. That's why you're here, after all. I don't know. I have no idea what he would even do with them. Probably take them back to Earth. Maybe he wants to use them as a bargaining chip. After all, he said he still has to make his escape, and the portal is still broken. Do you think he wants to exchange them for a safe passage through the portal? Maybe. It's still broken, though, so I'm not sure if that would be much help. Maybe he has the part needed to repair it, and now has everything he needs to escape. He could trade the eggs for safe passage, fix the portal, and leave. That's not the only possibility. He may not be the one who broke the portal. Maybe he thinks you've intentionally sabotaged it so he can't leave, and he feels he needs the eggs as bargaining chips to get you to repair it. If he just wanted to leave, I feel he could have done that already. It doesn't even matter who sabotaged the portal. We only know that Reza's actions are becoming more and more desperate. I'm gonna say Maverick damaged the portal. He kidnapped defenseless eggs and even used a human weapon. Something's clearly going on with him. Maybe it means that he'll slip up soon. Who knows? Maybe he already has. Did I just talk like Bryce when it was smashing? Anyways, in any case, we're done here. Let's head back to the department and decide what to do next. Hopefully, some of the test results will tell us something. Okay, can we find out who the dead body is? Please don't let it be a Dean. Okay, well, I feel like we would have seen it if it was a Dean. After a brief walk, we were in Bryce's office again. Initial test results had already come in, but didn't reveal any insightful or new information. So, what do we do now? Go over the timeline again? I'm gonna say no on the Eldritch Ritual. It seems a little far-fetched in this game. Not yet. There are a few things I'd like to take care of first. What do you have in mind? Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Come in. Oh, okay. Hi, Maverick. What are you doing here? Chief, can I talk to you? Alone? We're quite busy here, Maverick. What is this about? Reza. Well, you're looking at the Reza task force, so if you have anything to say, you can say it in front of all of us. I see. I think I know where Reza is. You know where Reza is at this very moment? I have good reason to believe that I have located his hideout. He could still be there, or he might have already moved on. Damn, Maverick. Tell me everything. I've been tracking him for a while now. When he was at the portal a few days ago, I nearly got him and managed to follow him for a while before I lost him. Based on that, where he's been and where his victims have been found, I could triangulate his whereabouts. Yes, I'm aware of that. He has to live somewhere, right? He needs a base to hide the generators and everything he has stolen. Bryce cleared the clutter on a table and smoothed out a map of the town on its surface. I already had a few locations related to the case marked on it. Show it to me. Prior victims were found here and here. Today's was here. This doesn't... Not easy to do when you're not actually showing it, but okay. She was following him, likely because she wanted to save the eggs he stole. This is the path he took from the portal when I followed him a few days ago. So we have established this as his area of operation. Extrapolate it, and we can narrow it down to this. Man, I really can't talk today. Now, where could he be hiding in this area? He's certainly not within the village borders, so unless he decided to live in the wilderness or in a hole in the ground, the only option is here. The abandoned farm. When did you figure all this out? Just a few minutes ago. When I did, I immediately came here. Well, I mean, that's probably the best decision you could have made. Damn it, Maverick. This might be it. Funny thing is, I just watched Top Gun Maverick a couple nights ago. Should we send an observation team? As if we had one to spare. Heck, we're going there right now. What about you, Maverick? I'm still on sick leave, remember? Well, luckily you got the chief right here. Besides, if I saw Reza right now, I'd probably do something I shouldn't. You know, that's actually, good on you. Good on you, Maverick. How about you, Reich? Isn't this going to be dangerous? Reza probably won't harm you, as you're the only one he could possibly consider an ally. Good point. If anything, while you're here, with you here, we might be able to convince him to give up. Or we could act like we intend to trade you for the eggs if he tries to use them as a bargaining chip. You're not really going to use me as ransom, right? We'll see about that. I suppose if it's necessary, I'll have to play along. I've got your back. If there's one thing we could do to make this whole situation even worse, it would be messing up with you. We have the element of surprise if we walk into his base right now, but we risk Reza lashing out with his weapon. If we want to resolve this peacefully, observation is probably the way to go. I guess we won't need Reich there for that, though. True enough. Alright, Reich. You stay here and wait for further instructions. We may need you at a moment's notice. Don't do anything without us telling you to. Understand? Okay. Hang on. Wife is home with some groceries. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh yeah, music in this game is amazing. After you, Chief. And Maverick, good job. Thanks, Chief. I need to get a consistent voice for Maverick here. Shortly after they vanished, Maverick also turned to leave. I'm all alone now. Then I had to wait. Bryce and Sebastian were observing the farm now. Who am I going to go see now? Well, I'm going to go check up on Nadine for sure. Make sure she's okay. If anything new happened, I would be the first to know. Spent some time looking around Bryce's office, studying all the material he had gathered around the case, though there wasn't any information that I didn't already know. My wife just got home with groceries, so I had to help her with them. After a few hours, the telephone in... Wow, it's been a few hours. In his office rang, and not sure whether the call was intended for me or Bryce, I picked up. Reich? Yes? I think you need to come here. I'll give you the directions. No problem. I don't like how he said that. There you are. Hey, I know this name. So, what happened? A whole lot of nothing. There was no movement to or from the building in the time we've been watching. He usually operates during the night, so maybe he's just asleep. In that case, it would be best for us to go in before he has a chance to make his escape. I don't like where this music is going. I love this theme, but I don't like where this is going. Or maybe he's not even in there anymore. He could have seen us and slipped away unnoticed, with plenty of time to destroy the evidence while we've been waiting here. You're right. Either he's still inside or he's already gone and not coming back. Let's go in. What should I do? You're coming with me. Okay, hang on. Let me deal with this. Put you in timeout. Yep, I put him in timeout. Sebastian, you walk around and watch the back of the building, just in case he tries to escape. I'm on it, Chief. I go in and you stay here, alright? I thought I was with you. What am I even here for, then? You're our insurance. If Reza tries to flee and sees you, it might throw him off. You might be able to stop him. Or if we get into a standoff, I can tell him you're here as well. How do you get in a standoff? You don't have a gun. I just don't want you to come inside when it could become more dangerous. Let me go in first. Why? Maybe I can talk to him and we can figure things out. I don't think he wants to kill me, so even if it doesn't work out, Sebastian and you will still be nearby to catch him. I'll be right behind you then, but do be careful. What? Do I have anything else for you? Ooh. More crackers with peanut butter. We slowly made our way to the front door. I took a deep breath and tried to prepare myself for the possibility of facing Reza. The tense scenarios and things I could say to him rushed through my head as I pressed down on the door handle. The door inched open with a creak, but I noticed a slight resistance and a strange sound that suddenly made me hesitate. Ooh. When I looked down to the source of the noise, I saw a taut wire through the gap in the door, hovering over the floor of the entryway. It's an interesting spot for that music, but okay. That was a pretty... Oh, and it's back. That was a pretty close call, you know. Too bad Reza wasn't here after all. Did I just save Bryce? Did I just make sure Bryce didn't die? Whew. Good choice. Maybe he ran when he saw us approach. Yes, Ion of Darkness is happening. We are working on Chapter 3 right now. Strange for him to leave everything behind, though. Everything he's stolen, all the generators are still here. What? Do you think the trap was for us in particular? Probably not. It was likely more a general safety precaution. If he had any time to prepare for this, he would have taken the stuff with him. True enough, I had no idea you could make a bomb out of a generator. Then you just haven't been with us long enough. If you know how, it's not even that complicated. And Reza somehow figured it out? Apparently so. Does he have any skills pertaining to engineering or electricity? Well, he's worked on cars before and fixes a lot of things back home. I guess that would qualify. He also could have done his own research. Either way, this makes him... What? You have food, dude. Even more dangerous. At least we now have a whole building's worth of clues. Right? Can you... What? Are you done? Are you done eating? You want down? Alright. Oh, don't drop the controllers. Stay. Could give him Dino Nuggies, but he's already eaten, so no more food. Right? Can you get to your apartment from here? We'll be busy with this scene for a while. No problem. I'll leave you to your work then. Good job, Rick. Thanks. I saved your life, dude. Just remember that. I'm surprised you called me back so quickly. How's the investigation going? Oh, the investigation is going swimmingly. But as you can expect, we need all the help we can get. As usual. I've only seen three cops, counting Maverick. With how this case has been going, we've realized we must employ external help. Oh? Yeah, we've requested assistance from one of the cities. We hope they'll send some good investigators our way soon. I see. We were so close today. He could have been in there, you know. Maybe we just came a few minutes too late. And if he knows how to make bombs from generators, who's to say he won't start using them elsewhere? At least he doesn't have any right now, does he? You said all the generators that were stolen are now accounted for. True. Still, this whole case is growing to be too much for a small-town police department. What you doing, bud? I hope you'll get all the help you'll need. Me too. Right now, you can help us again. Well, what do you have for me? When we searched the building, we found more than the things Reza stole. We also found this bloody bandage. Do you think that's his? That's what we need to find out. But given all that we know, it probably is. Just going with assumptions here. So he's wounded. We know he was injured during the fight with his first victim, but whether this is from the same wound or something else, I'm not sure. There's comics of this? Huh. In any case, you could bring it into the lab for us to find out more. Oh, too bad Anna's dead. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing? Next, we have a witness who reported hearing loud bangs during the night. We'd like to send someone to make a follow-up visit. Oh, gee, easy, bud. You'll need to confirm the witness statement, then see if he has anything new to share. Oh, it's a he. Also, now that we have reclaimed your PDAs, we're going to send one to the archives for an analysis. Since they have experience with human artifacts, they're better suited to do it than any of our departments. No problem. And lastly, we have the eggs. Whew, that was fast. Whenever I hear someone say the name Bryce, I automatically think of... Okay, that comment went away. They're safe and ready to be sent back to the hatchery. Shouldn't we take care of those first? It's not as urgent as you might think. Our eggs are pretty resilient. Being in the care of the hatchery is more an insurance than a requirement. Some people choose to keep them in their own home until they hatch, rather than having the hatchery take care of it. The hatchery has been notified, but they won't be able to send someone for a few hours. I've heard that they're really understaffed. Well, especially now that somebody else is dead. If you bring the eggs and the paperwork to them, you'd speed up the process, but it's not an urgent matter. I see. In any case, I'll just leave everything here until I get to it, so feel free to do these tasks as you wish. I know it's laughable that we don't even have a free hand for simple errands. Don't worry about it. By the way, are you planning to attend the summer festival? It's a little random tangent we're going off on. Should I? It's hard to think about something fun when I'm wrapped up in this investigation. For sure. It's important to take a short rest so you don't lose your head. There's so much to see at the festival, particularly the big fireworks. Dragons enjoy fireworks too? I would think something like that would feel so commonplace since many of you breathe fire. It's not quite the same. We still appreciate the wonder of colorful bursts in the sky. On the last day, there's always a big fireworks show. Everyone usually attends it. Everyone? Yes, it has a great tradition behind it. What peeves me most is that I'll be on guard duty when it happens this year, so I probably won't be able to see a thing. I'll be sure not to miss it then. Anyways, I should get back to the investigation now. I'll leave the stuff for you here, and I'll take care of the rest once I get back, alright? Sure thing. Good luck, Greg. You too. Alright, Alright, what do I do now? Where's it going, bud? Where do I go? What do I do first? I feel like with moments like this, I typically am only allowed to do one or two things. I do feel like taking the eggs to the hatchery is the most likely way to go see Adine because it's connected to the orphanage, apparently. Okay, eggs it is. Where are you off to, bud? Going on an adventure? I was on my way to the hatchery when I heard a voice call out to me. Please be Adine, please be Adine, please be Adine. Hello there. Hello there. I turned around to see an unfamiliar face before me. Oh, it's not... What in the heck? Who's that? Kevin. This is Kevin. I mean, I like his colors. Hi, Kevin. Right, nice to meet you. Could I perhaps interest you in our Midwest institution? Is this some kind of religious thing? Not at all. It's a college. Sorry, but I already got my degrees. Yeah, I know. It was just a joke. Oh, so me going to college is a joke now. I'm not good enough. Is that it? Not at all. Even if you wanted to study there, I don't think you'll be with us long enough to make use of it. I think that came out wrong. You're lucky I won't take this the wrong way. Phew. So, you're a recruiter for this college? No, this is just my summer job. Once the semester starts up again, I'll actually be attending to get my degree in psychology. College. Wonderful times, yeah. I do and don't miss my time at college. Is that sarcasm? Maybe. I didn't even know you had colleges here, though. Well, you do now. Why'd you even approach me if you know I'm not going to go to college here. Don't tell me it's just because I'm human, you racist. I was actually trying to talk to that old lady who walked by, but once you turned around, there was no going back. Hey, what you got? What you got? I'll take that. No, don't mess with my controller. No, not a toy. Stop touching my controller. Oh. You're okay. Hey, there's my phone. Play with my phone. It's not on. Oh, well, well, thanks for not making things awkward. Yeah, nothing wrong with skipping college. It's not for everybody. That's good customer service. Hey. No, don't touch that. Here, play with Frodo. Context, I have a Frodo toy from when I was a kid on my desk. That made him happy. Sure, but it's not just for the job, you know. That's just me. Okay. Wife is not here. Wife went to work again. She's a caretaker for her grandmother with Alzheimer's and dementia, so... Hey! Buddy, don't go up the stairs. Where are you going? Get back here. Stay out here. Can't see you inside. Alright, anyways. Let him tag along. No, stop playing with the controller. I don't really have any... Here, play with this F-22. Where'd you put Frodo? Okay, well, let's go ahead and invite him. Why don't you come over to my place? Okay, so it's for later. I'd love to hear more about what college is all about in this world. I don't really, but okay. Then you found the right person for the job. I can't promise anything right now, but maybe I'll see you another time. For sure. I also have to finish this up here, but after that, I'm free. All right, I'll let you know. I'm here all day today and tomorrow, so it shouldn't be hard to find me. Great, I have to get going now, but I'll be sure to let you know if anything's up. Sure, see ya. Seems like a nice guy. Here we are again. Hey, Adine! Hey, Reich, what are you doing here? Oh, I just came by to drop these off. Drop what off? The stolen eggs? I figured the hatchery would want them back. Oh, I was actually going to get those from the police department later. I'm so glad that they got back safely. Emily? Oh, Emily. Stop chewing my leg. Okay, that's an interesting looking dragon. It's tasty. Oh, well. Anyway, I was going to go inside, so I'll take those off your hands. Thanks for bringing them here. No problem. You returned the eggs to the hatchery. Got an achievement for it. Yay! That's an interesting looking dragon. Alright. Oh, okay, now what? Take advantage to the facility, visit the witness, take the PDA to the library. I am not going to go home and rest. I got stuff to do. Hey, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, I got one for library, one for bandage. Play with this one. This one's for the Xbox I haven't set up. Okay, I got 2 for the PDA. And no, I'm not talking about public displays of affection. This is gonna remain PG, people. Let's go. Yeah, let's. But we got. I hate making these decisions. Gotta do something to move the plot along with the murders. We got to see Adine, so took care of that. Well, I'm assuming we'd see Remy at the library. Should take the bandages to the facility. Or talk to the witness. Something to help this case move along. Bandage. I hope this is the right place. Yep, it's Damien. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm just dropping this evidence off on behalf of the police. From the Reza case, right? I already read the memo. Yep, well, here you go. Thanks, I'll get right to it. I would say something's fishy about him, but it's more snaky. I don't know. I tried. Thanks for all your help. I did so much. Now that the facility has received a bandage, maybe we'll discover something new. I'll take care of the remaining tasks, so you can take the rest of the day off. No, but I want to help. I'm sure you have things to do other than helping the police department. It's no problem, really. My trip to your world wasn't supposed to be a vacation. Alright then, I'll see you next time. See you. I could have helped with more. Okay, what do we do now? After this fateful day, I was glad to finally have some sort of respite, whatever. I wandered into the kitchen as I considered tonight's dinner. Should I cook something or order out? When I returned to the living room, I suddenly found my strength leaving me and collapsed to the floor. That's not good. Okay. That happened. Next thing I saw was a blurry stone ceiling. As my eyesight slowly returned, I managed to sit up. I was in a cave, and before me stood a familiar, mysterious face. Oh, this guy! I apologize for the violence, but I can assure you it was the easiest way. Where am I? Is this your hideout? This looks like that cave that we found that, the young dragon in with the dead mother. I'm just gonna call that dragon Bambi until I remember the name. Just a temporary accommodation so we can be undisturbed for this meeting. Someone else used to live here until recently. Do you know who I am? Well, you're not Reza. Good. What did it take for you to figure that out? Since you're not whispering anymore, I can hear it clearly in your voice. I had a feeling that you couldn't be him since the first time we met, though. I read that weirdly. Which first time are you talking about? The generator in the cellar, when you pushed me. I see. Stop pushing the controller. Apparently that... Here. I'll just do this then. No other humans are supposed to be here, though. I assume that's why you're wearing the mask. You don't want to be recognized. That is correct. Whoever you are, you also saved my life. On more than one occasion. Your presence here doesn't make any sense. You couldn't have come through the portal. The dragons would have noticed. This is where you are wrong. My arrival through the portal is what led the dragons to discover it in the first place. Okay, so we got three humans. Man, where'd you go? Oh, you're over there. Is that so? When I crawled out from the hole in the earth that hid the portal, there were no guards to discover me. My appearance exposed the portal, but the dragons didn't know it was there yet. So you arrived even before Reza. That makes you the actual first human to come to this world. That is more true than you might think. Just who are you then? I may have arrived through the portal like you, but my story is very different. Okay. Before the fall of humanity, I was an engineer. I was part of a team that was formed to create bioweapons. Oh, so it's your fault. We're going to go with that. We're going to blame this guy. Our task was to create these bioweapons in a country where their development hadn't yet been regulated or outlawed. These weapons were planned to be a low-cost alternative for poor countries to wage war, so they would no longer have to rely on expensive drones and machines for warfare. I was to set up the lab where our bioweapon development would take place. It was a clandestine operation set to be in the middle of the wilderness. The laboratory was an independent research and living unit, and provided everything we needed without having to rely on external resources or even an existing power grid. Everything was to be teleported right into the middle of nowhere, with no traces or paper trail to follow, so international communities and law enforcement would have no idea of our operations. Our only connection to the outside world after setup would have been a two-way portal to our headquarters, who would provide everything we needed. While we already could teleport individual people, teleporting a whole building was another matter entirely. Our solution was matter compression technology. This is way too sciencey for me. Incredibly expensive, but operating in the gray market not the black market, but the gray market, was also very lucrative. The technology behind it was much more complicated than even teleportation, despite being based on it. While teleportation works by utilizing black holes with a beginning and an end, compression technology relies on a loop, keeping matter in a sort of limbo state until the loop is broken. Working with black holes was very complicated to begin with, but this shape required much more finesse, and thus was much more expensive. I was to be sent alone to set up the lab and the portal so the rest of the team could arrive safely. In case you didn't know, it is possible to use a portal to send someone to a previously defined endpoint. Therefore, it is not required to have a portal at the destination to be sent there, but as you can imagine, this is also very dangerous. A single variable off by a fraction could mean the difference between landing safely at your destination and smothering in space. Of course, my employer did not want anything like that to happen, can't imagine why. Not necessarily for my own sake, but because of all the unfathomably expensive equipment I had with me. Regardless, something went wrong anyway. Despite all their checks and safeguards, they could only minimize the risk so much. Even if the risk is a fraction of a fraction, sometimes you're just that unlucky. Ain't that the truth? And sometimes turns out that your bad luck is a blessing in disguise. I arrived safely somewhere in the jungles of Earth, yet it was not the destination that had been planned. I knew something was off, but nevertheless, I set to work immediately. At the very least, I could prepare the building. I would have shelter, and then I could begin preparations for our project. Getting the portal into working order would take more time, as it was a complicated process that could take several weeks. So much reading. If things had gone wrong as I suspected, I would at least be able to establish contact with headquarters after the portal had been set up, and I would be able to return. While teleporting the lab to the wrong location was certainly a costly mistake, I was still lucky to have my life. Before long, I discovered the truth about the place I had arrived. While I was still on Earth, it was not the Earth I knew. It was the Earth of 65 million years ago. Okay, so we're adding time travel to this. We knew that by utilizing black holes for teleportation, time travel was a theoretical possibility. It's a little more than a possibility at this point. It was something even my company didn't dare to attempt, though, as teleportation in itself was still a very new technology. Yet here I was, 65 million years in the past, with a research station all to myself. The company would revel in the opportunity to study and profit from all the different life forms I could see. If only they knew about them. I spent the few weeks setting up the portal as planned, yet when I tried to reestablish contact with my employer, I was met with silence. Excuse me. Despite the time discrepancy, the portal should have been able to find my companies in the present. For a black hole, sending something through time is no different than sending something through space. However, when we built the portals, we gave them a specialized configuration. It was only possible to travel through space by aligning them across the time axis. That meant that I, in the past, would still be able to search for the portals in the present to connect with. My counterparts in the present, though, would not be able to find me in the past even if they tried. But I couldn't find them, not a single one, even after checking the portal for its function. I determined that, for all intents and purposes, the portal from the company should have been there to connect with. It was then that I had a terrible realization. The portals in the present didn't exist anymore or were no longer operational. Maybe the blunder of teleporting the lab caused them to reconsider the risks of using this technology. After all, it was already controversial and had been outlawed in several countries. I wouldn't have been surprised if they decided to cut their losses, but it was highly unlikely that they would have immediately shut down every single portal and left me stranded without notice. Portal technology was still being relied on in several places in the present. Yeah, with all the time travel stuff we got going on, like Doctor Who, Avengers, in my mind, only one possibility remained: super weapons. Various nations had been using them as bargaining chips for some time. We didn't think the threats had become that serious, but one of them must have launched their weapons and destroyed the majority of Earth. It could have been the result of a malfunction, or perhaps the political situation had escalated. Either way, it's not possible for me to establish any means of communication to find out what had really happened. I could have sent myself back into the present with the right coordinates, but this was a risky endeavor, and I also had to ask myself if there was a present I wanted to return to. I was sure that if anything was even left of my world, the aftermath or a possible retaliatory strike would take care of the rest. In the end, I had to realize that whichever present did exist was likely not one that was worth returning to. It made my decision all the easier. Instead of returning to a destroyed civilization, I saw an opportunity. Rather than creating bioweapons, I could use the lab to create a new civilization, shaped by my own ideals. Where's he going with this? I had all the necessary data and the most modern methods and machines at my fingertips. Besides, most of the processes had already been automated. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Good song. Anyways, I still use the lab for what it had been created for. Fusing human and animal DNA to create beings that were mostly animal but possessed a greater intelligence that allowed them to learn whatever we wanted them to. As I didn't have any animal samples sent with me when I initially arrived, I collected them from the sources available to me. Automated processes mixed the DNA further across the samples. New abilities were added like enhanced armor, flight, and spit weapons to make the new creatures more effective in combat. The result was a number of different species, each tailored and optimized to fill a specific role in a war situation. Hormones allowed me to speed up their growth, and with the lab's learning program, they could be educated in whatever manner I saw fit. My first concern was self-sufficiency. They needed the kind of knowledge that would enable them to come together as their own independent society. Luckily, the AI that automated all the processes in the lab was more than helpful. I unleashed the first generation of my creation, and as their leader, founded our first village. I thought we could really pull it off, and once I saw that they could survive without my guidance and also govern themselves, I knew my plan was a success. When I realized that this new society would eventually be destroyed, I told myself that I would do anything I could to save it. Destroyed? What are you talking about? Haven't you realized where we are? The Chicxulub asteroid is headed for us. Oh, we got the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs coming. With a diameter of over 10 kilometers, its impact will create humongous clouds of dust, throwing Earth into a literal dark age. Careful, bud. They will block out the sunlight for over a year, killing off many species of plants that rely on photosynthesis to survive. Stop it. Stop it. Have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. As a result, animals that eat those plants will also vanish, as will those who sought sustenance from these herbivores. Hey, don't plug my... this back in. There we go. No pulling. As well those who sought sustenance from these herbivores. All in all, 75% of all species will vanish, and in terrestrial ecosystems, all animals heavier than a single kilogram will die. Easy, bud. That would be 2.2 pounds, in case you didn't know. I didn't know, but thank you. It will be the end of everyone who lives here, every single dragon you have seen, unless we do something. We? What am I supposed to do? Do you not wish to save them? I came here to help humanity. Now you tell me that this society, this whole world, is also on the brink of extinction? That is the truth. What kind of difference could a single person like me even make to save it? Right now, it's also a single person that presents its greatest threat. Reza? How? In order to stop the comet, you will need as much power as possible. We reclaimed all the generators he stole. Besides, how could a few of them be enough to make a difference for something like this? Don't forget that Reza is still out there, looking for more. The truth is, I don't know if all the generators we could gather would ever be enough. We only require enough power to divert the comet's path during a crucial moment, but even if this plan is possible, we will need every single generator we can get. Stop! Climb. Easy, bud. So my goal hasn't changed. I just need to find Reza. Yes, but you'll need my help. And maybe the help of others. You know that Reza is dangerous, and with his gun, he has a clear advantage. Well then give me a gun. I want a gun. Oh yeah, you did mention the stars. Huh. Clever. I did not remember that. Don't think that he wouldn't hesitate to kill you if you were in his way. Then what shall we do? Do you know where he is? No, but I think you'll find him soon, and you can count on my support when that happens. I see. There is one thing that still doesn't make sense to me, though. The dragons have myths about you, but they don't know or remember you. They haven't seen any humans for who knows how long. How much time could have passed since you created them and now? How many generations could it take to forget? Why isn't there proof of your existence? I don't know exactly how long it's been myself. When I realized what time period I was in and that my creation was about to be wiped out in the future, I wanted to go to that future and see what they had become. I disabled the portal's time axis safeguards and thus enabled it to connect with others in different times. This also included the very same portal in the future. With the generator of our lab being able to supply the portal with power for an indefinite amount of time, I was able to travel to any point in the future I wanted to. The entry and end points of the black hole would be the same place and the same portal, with the way traveled being just along the time axis. Okay, so the portal is his company's creation, and the lab that's hidden underneath is the lab that he traveled with. Okay, starting to make sense a little bit. Since I can now search for connection points in any time period, I could look for my own portal in the future and pinpoint the moment its signal stopped. The comet. Exactly. I found that specific point in time and traveled to a future that was as close to that event as I could safely manage. Might have wanted to do it a little bit earlier. After I arrived here... Oh, you're just gonna walk away with that? Okay. After I arrived here, my escape from the portal's hiding place led to its discovery by the dragons. It and the laboratory were unearthed. I still don't understand how our portal found yours, or why we ended up arriving at this particular time period. The portal you found was no doubt one of my company's. They must have been connected before, so the corresponding data for their connection already existed when you found it. I'm not sure if that could bypass the anti-time travel safeguards, though. Was it completely operational when you found it? No, it took a little bit of tinkering. Probably jumping the hardware safeguard in the process. Now, consider that connected portals travel along the time axis together. The data for their beginning and end points are adjusted automatically. Oy, this is a lot. Easy button. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to transport anything from one place in the world to another without also sending it through time. No, do not climb on that. That is not safe. Since these two portals must have been connected at some point, the corresponding data for the connection between those two portals already existed. When using the same connection without changing any of the data, this would mean that despite the time discrepancy between those two portals, time still progressed linearly for them. I'm not sure I understand. I don't understand. Let me try to rephrase that. The portal you found and my own share a connection. However, while the connection is locked to a certain place, which is wherever the portal is at that very moment, it is not connected to a specific point in time. For us and the physical machines that are the portals, time passes linearly and we can't do anything about that. However, for the black holes, this isn't the case. Just as their entry and endpoints can be in different places, they can also be in different times. In order to not send something through time when we just want to transport something from one portal to another, the portals are anchored together in such a way that the time data is automatically synchronized. Essentially, this means that ever since you arrived in this world, the same amount of time that has passed for you has also passed in the place where you came from. I see. So despite being in different time periods, time still passes linearly on both sides of the portal. Otherwise, it would not have been possible for you to send messages back and forth to each other. If they were not synchronized, the portals on both sides would stay connected not only to a single point in space, but also to a single point in time, thus making proper two-way communication impossible. However, this is only possible through the connection that has already been forged. If we wanted to, we could also use our portal to send you back to your own time period, but to a moment before Reza even arrived here. Oh, don't mess with time! But that would mean there would be two of me, right? Wouldn't that cause a time paradox? I can only tell you that it would work. No one has studied time travel before. Wonder why. So if there are any consequences, then I am not sure of them. Most likely, an entirely new timeline would be created. There would be a timeline without a Reich altogether, and in the new one, there would be two of you. This is becoming way too complicated. What are you... Okay, it's a Cheerio. I apologize. To come back to your original question, I am not sure how much time passed between the time I left my newborn society and now. Since the portal was not designed for time travel, I have no way of knowing how the variables translated to our perception of time. It could have been thousands or even millions of years. How could the portal or even its power source still be operational after all this time? Portal receives its power from the generator in the lab. These units were fitted with the absolute best technology we had to offer. It was designed to provide sustainable power completely independently from any already existing network of power lines. My throat's getting dry from reading all this. It gains energy from many sources. Don't mess with... Okay, you're not messing with the magic cards. It gains energy from many sources. Sun rays, Earth's heat and movement, just to name a few. Keep in mind it had to power a whole laboratory and research station while also providing the energy it required for all of its inhabitants and the associated energy expenditures. Hey, don't mess with the magic cards. I'm trying to organize them. Leave them be. Taking its power from the Earth itself. Really? Really? You're just gonna ignore me like that? A generator like this could continue providing power to the lab indefinitely. Stop! Stop it! Stop it! Leah! No. No. Leave it. Hey, speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single dinosaur since I arrived? Seems that the dragons' society expanded over the whole continent. Many still hunt for their own sustenance, and as such, the original species they were based on have mostly vanished, as in direct competition. Ours proved to be far superior. Also, they have probably taken measures against having big predators roam their cities and villages. Yet while the dragon population has increased tremendously, I have found that, by and large, their society as a whole has not changed much. Is that why everything here looks like it was made for humans? I suppose so. The learning program I initially used gave them the knowledge about things and how to create them. Yet, of course, there were only human inventions and designs. Did they never once stop to think that they should adjust how certain things look? A lot of the furniture and objects I've seen look very impractical for a dragon. I was surprised at that too, but I have an explanation for this phenomenon. Don't forget that their genome was designed by an AI program to make them into effective bioweapons. The idea was to have them indoctrinated at a young age. After reaching adolescence, their learning capacity would be greatly diminished. This resulted in subjects that would stay loyal and be unlikely to change their desired behaviors. Instincts also play a role. I imagine that they are much at odds with their learned behavior. Instincts in animals never change, and instinctual behaviors will always be there. If a given trait has been programmed into their genome as an instinct, it is not very likely to change, even through numerous generations. We can see the results of this here. While I initially made them learn a certain set of values and knowledge, I have found that the expression of those ideas has hardly changed. And after I was gone, each new generation learned from its elders, and much of the initial knowledge and information was retained through all this time. This is a lot. Their genome as a whole did change, however, which was unavoidable over time. If they had been used as bioweapons as intended, they would have been nothing more than an army of identical clones. While I can see subtle changes in behaviors as a result, some traits are still very much present in them. They are content with what they have and don't strive for more. They don't innovate or change, so technological breakthroughs or new inventions are a rarity. It's quite the opposite, really. They very much value tradition and their ways, which have not changed much in all these years. I see. How much time do we have left to stop the comet? Okay, yeah, we're getting back to the important thing here. In a few weeks, the comet will pass the moon, and its gravity field will point the comet's trajectory toward Earth. This is when we will need to be ready. If we strike then, we would only need to minimally affect its path in order for the comet to pass Earth safely. It won't be enough time for the inhabitants of this world to prepare if Reza steals our greatest assets. So it's all about Reza and the generators, isn't it? Indeed. By the way, I fixed the portal in case we need to use it. Did you break it to prevent me from being sent away? No, that wasn't me. Reza better not use it to escape. Trust me, the portal is our greatest asset. I have programmed it with emergency coordinates. If you should find yourself in a hopeless situation and feel there is no other way out, go to the portal. I have made sure only you will be able to use them. I'll keep that in mind. So what's your plan? What do we do now? I will resume my work, and you will continue yours. Find Reza. The administrator turned to leave. Wait, what's with all the secrecy? Why are you still wearing that mask? Why don't we pool our resources together and you show me your hideout? Don't you think it would be better if you were completely frank with me? Well, maybe his name's Frank. No, not now. Hey, don't... A second later, the figure had already vanished into the darkness outside. Hey, don't. When I followed, I realized that I wasn't sure how to get back to my apartment. I've been doing this for like an hour and a half now. I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. Got a pretty big, Dude. Leave the magic cards alone. Hey. No. No. Yeah? Anyways. Yeah, got a lot of revelations in this. Can't wait to see where it goes, and now we got our real big bad thing to fight. Hopefully I can get a good ending and save all of Dragonkind, I guess. Thank you for joining me again. I've been having fun. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I will see you guys hopefully next week.